Well, it's about to be lunchtime. I wasn't going to say Grand Rising. But, for those of you who are just now waking up, Grand Rising. So, I had broken my phone holder, the little sparkler one I had in here. I had accidentally broke it. And so now I had to kind of rig up an old one that I had, which it's doing an okay job, I guess. So, I guess I'm going to keep it like that. But anyway, I want to know how everybody's doing today. This will be my first car ride video that I'm going to post on YouTube. There's been a lot of lives that I've done in the car on my way to work, and I've never posted to YouTube. And so I'm like, I don't know how to save them lives. I'm going to find out how to do that, and then I'm going to just post that stuff on YouTube. I don't know. But when I do, you gonna know first. Anyway, so I had this mutual friend on one of my social medias, and it's not the first time I've seen this question. Why is it that women that got their shit together are single or don't have a man or can't keep a man? Let me just say this. When you go through different phases in your life and you follow in a feminine energy, just an example, when you're go through your life and you're taught to be a certain way, you're going to grow up thinking that that's the only way to be. These experiences you have in life are going to teach you to embrace all sides of yourself, masculine, feminine, you name it. And we're just talking about energies now, okay? So there are certain aspects of my life that I had a lot of feminine energy. Of course, I'm thinking, oh, well, I'm female, so I have to have this energy. And it took me a while to get this experience because I had to go through not only job situations, I had to go through real relationship situations as well, or what I thought was a relationship situation. And it was quite difficult. It was very much a challenge because of where my mindset was versus where their mindset was versus what I am allowing myself to see versus what it really is. A lot of times when you're in a feminine energy, you're in your head more than anything. But then once you embrace that masculine side of you, then you'll see things for what it is. You'll have more logics to your actions and your mindset. So let me just put you in a situation. Okay, I was entertaining a situation a long time ago. Before my real commitment, this was, a little test dummy that I had to test out, I guess. Anyway, the red flags were all over the place. But, I was like, shit, I don't care. He's fine as hell. And I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, he's interested in me. Not knowing what his intentions were or being completely oblivious to what it really was. He was very flirtatious. I'm thinking, oh, he's a Gemini, I'm a Gemini. Let's see what happens. Worst fucking thing ever. Excuse me, I shouldn't have even said that. But worst thing ever, because not only was this person a Gemini, this person was a low vibrational Gemini. And I mean low vibrational. Okay, everything was for attention. Everything was for the, different women, this and that. I was working, doing me, getting myself, together. And, at first everything was pretty cool. It was pretty smooth. Still, in the cupcake phase. Cupcaking on the phone, every now and again I would see this person. I'm like, hey, how you doing? This and that, da, da, da. So we conversed for a good while, I say it wasn't even 3 months. It was just a couple of weeks, really. Outside of a month, maybe. But it's like we went through shit so fast because this person was a narcissist and I was just a gullible young lady that was just like, I wouldn't even say I was in my high vibrational lady dating phase. I was a girl at the time. You know, I was legal age. However, I had the girl mindset. I had the feminine mindset. You know, I was quick to pop off instead of really thinking things through. I was quick to jump on something instead of really looking at it. Well, you know, it got into a point in the situation, I'll say, to where, you know, we were still talking, but it's like we didn't see each other as much because he was doing his thing, I was doing my thing. We still seen each other because we were in the same area most of the time. So we still, you know, he, you know, come to me and be like, you know, hey baby, how you doing, and this and that. And it was like it's like 24-hour difference of the situation that had happened. And it was a point where I didn't hear from him the whole day. And I was like checking on him, saying, hey, how you doing? He's like, I'm fine. I'm like, okay. You know, I just called to check on you. I was just on to see if you were hungry and stuff like I usually do. And everything. And I don't know, he just acted weird. He acted like, you know, he did on Thursday. You know, he acted like he was sick or something. And so I was like, okay. So I gave him a few hours. I'm like, hey, you all right? You know? He's like, I'm good. He's like, what you doing? I'm like, I'm just doing nothing. I'm just sitting here and everything. I'm like, you know, I made a little something. So he came down and got him a plate and everything, gave me a kiss and stuff, and told me that he had a hard day and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, babe. You know, you just need to get your rest. Not even 5 minutes after he left, you know, he actually lived up the street. Not even 5 minutes. You know, I called him to make sure he made it home. And he calls me cussing at me, screaming at me. Tell me, don't call my effing phone again. You know, you obsessed, you ain't this and that, da-da-da. You're a compulsive liar, this and that. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, you just seen me. You just came and got a plate. What's up? Like, we just talked a minute ago. Where's all this coming from? I was so confused, frustrated, to a point to where I was screaming, crying. I wanted to fight. I hung up. No, I correct myself. That phone call particularly, he hung up. Like, he just cussed at me and then he hung up the phone. Then I ended up calling him back. Again, low vibrational female at the time. Call him back. And I was like, what's going on? What happened? And stuff like that. He's like, don't call my phone no more, or I'm gonna have my girl come down and fuck you up. That's what he said to me. He told me he was gonna have his new girlfriend come down and fight me. So after that, I instantly blocked the number. I was so upset. I was crying. I was screaming. I was hurt. I was so hurt. Like, I didn't know what happened. I didn't know what was going on. You know, I knew now that he had a new girlfriend, and I'm like, for what? Like, what was going on? In my mind, I was like, what did I do that was so wrong? Why did he leave me? This and that. And mind you, this person did not have a damn thing. So I was like, I was really in my low vibrational shit. Well, anyway, the girl messages me. She sends me voice messages. She's like cussing me out, talking about I'm obsessed, I'm this and that. I'm like, he really gassed this bitch up. That's the mindset I'm having. He really gassed her up. For what? And so I said what I needed to say to her. I'm like, look, I don't know who you are or why you on my messenger, but we were together for this long and this and that, and I don't understand what's really going on. And he's like, oh, you slow, this and that, da da da, you stupid, and everything. And I'm like, I just went ahead and blocked her too. And I just went on my merry way. And I continued on. I expected some stuff to really pop off and really happen, but it didn't. So I was like, okay, so this was just a text call BS, low vibrational shit as usual. So it wasn't even 2 weeks later, this girl messages me from a different account, and she tells me everything that had happened over that course of time since the situation of the argument and beef, all the way up to the point to where she was done with him after 2 weeks. And I'm like, at this point, I'm like, what do you want? When she approached me with it, she's like, can I please just call you? Can you lend me your number? I said, I don't do exchanging phone numbers. You can talk to me on here. And she's like, okay, give me a while because I'm only using Wi-Fi. And I'm like, okay, I'll just let it be. You know, I was trying to let the situation go. Back then, you know, I had to think logically later on. Within those 2 weeks, that changed my whole perspective of not only this person, but how I'm not going to go to this situation ever again. And how us women can just be so damn stupid for a dude. Like, not, you know, I'm talking about this girl particularly, but myself. Like, I had remembered certain flags that were given to me while we were entertaining each other. You know, talking mad mess about his baby mama or his exes. Like, all of them, there was always a problem with each and every woman. And I was like, I should have just added them on Facebook and see what the fuss was about, or spy on them a little bit or something. I should have just checked and seen it through to see what was really going on. Because this man sold a whole deadgum storyline of BS, of bad luck that he had with women that were toxic to him, when he was the one that was a messed up ass individual. So, you know, continue on with the conversation that me and this girl had. Come to find out, we were distant cousins. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. You know, all right. I'll see you at the family reunion then. And I'm like, which I never go to, by the way. But, you know, she continued to tell me what happened with her and him during their situation. I said, I'm going to stop you right there. Look here, sis. I don't really give a damn what happened between you and him. I knew this was going to happen because it happened to me. 9 times out of 10, it was going to happen to you. And she just continued on to tell me anyway. She told me the stuff that he said to her about me, you know, about my body, about, you know, what type of person I am, and all this attacking my character. And half the stuff that he told her wasn't even stuff that happened with me. And I'm like, honey, this is all wrong, because I only met him less than 2 months ago. So a lot of this timeline and stuff, you know, don't make sense to me. Because at the time that he's talking about was the time that was way before me, and there was a certain situation that he was in. It made it very impossible for a lot of the stuff that he said. I'm not gonna, you know, elaborate what was going on in his situation, because, you know, that was his business and it was before me. But I had facts and receipts to prove that that was impossible. And so she was just shook. She was shocked. And I said, and honestly, I feel like you're going to go back as soon as he texts you. You know, he's just, I mean, he's so toxic that he makes you that interested. You know, sometimes it happens that way. And she's like, girl, whatever. I don't want him. You can have him. I said, bitch, did you not hear what you just said? You called me with this BS and I haven't spoke to this man. So, you know, he tried to make himself irresistible to her so much to where she was overprotective of him, and it might have got on his nerves or something like that. But my thing is, don't say yourself that way then if you don't want nobody to react a certain way. I have learned over time, after that whole situation, to guard myself of those types of people. I tried to do my best, but then I end up running into another one recently through social media, who was also a Gemini, also low vibrational, always, you know, also very messy and delusional. So, and also talk shits about the exes. So it's like, you know, I'm like, okay, I handled this situation better though. I handled this situation better because every time he come at me with some mess, I'm like, my nose. I'm like, nah, cuz you got that. You know, that's your business. Because at the end of the day, I'm not about to sit there and allow no man to dictate or tell me how to feel. I'm not going to allow no man, no dude, I'll say no male gender, tell me anything about another female before me. Because at the end of the day, there's two sides to every story. If I'm your redemption, let me be. If I'm not, and you want to just go on to these rants and circles of bullshit and drama, then baby, I'm going to let you be by yourself. That's just what it is. And anyway, this girl continuously confided in me about a lot of things, and because she was like, oh, you're not even this type of person he says you are, you're actually pretty cool, this and that. And I said, I've always been pretty cool. I just gave the wrong MF the chance. That's all. I made a mistake, and I didn't even tell her she made a mistake. I just told her, hey, practice peaceful protest against all this stuff, and you just, and I mean within, there's peaceful protesting that you can do for yourself. That's another thing. That's a part of an alignment conversation that we can talk about later on. But I just told her, hey, that's y'all's business, and I really don't want to talk about it anymore because I'm on a different level. I'm on a whole different level. Years later, me and this lady, we have became friends. I'm not talking about best friends. We just became good associates on Facebook. We check in. Usually I'm like, how you doing? And everything like that. Every time I see her, it's no harm, no hatefulness, no hatred, if that's even a word. If not, I made it up. And it sound good. But yeah, I mean, dude was just trying. I mean, he wanted to be fought over. He wanted to be, he wanted to be wanted in a toxic way. And I'm like, I'm never going to put myself in a situation where I fight over nobody, especially if the flags are already there. Now, when I was in this girl feminine phase, I was for it. But then I had to change my perspective and my idea of myself and who I allow in. And so I had to go and walk in my masculine way, my logical side, my toughness. Not saying that feminine energy is not tough, but I had to become one with both. So then I can have fullness within myself and how I carry. So much to where people, dudes mainly, I recently had somebody in my messenger talking about, oh, I got that toxic trait. Practicing peace and preserving my energy is not toxic. It's only toxic for the person that is using it with ill intention. But no, that's not a toxic trait, baby. I tell you what it is me giving you everything via text. Then we finally go out on a date and have absolutely nothing to say. That's toxic to me. It just doesn't make sense to me to give a person your all over a phone call or a text message. I don't do that. I don't like doing that. When I'm at an event, I'm barely on my phone. When I'm in front of somebody, I'm barely on my phone. So I find it very unattractive to want to get to know somebody just via text. I don't like long distance relationships. I had a situation, another situation just this year where a dude, he's like, oh, I prayed for long distance relationship. I done this, I done that. I'm like, no, you didn't. No, the hell you didn't. Not with me. Not with me, baby. Not with me. I tell you what's got my allergies going. It's this dang pollen and trees and the humidity. Got me messed up. And the 4th of July was yesterday. All that gunpowder, all that and mixed chemical stuff messing me up. I'll tell you. YouTube, if I got an itch, I'm going to scratch it. That's just that. If it's in my nose, I'm just going to have to get it. But usually it's just on the, right there. Right there. Right on the tip. Dadgummit, I need to put on some air or something. That's tough. That's hot. Anyway, but back to the story time. It's like, I do not engage with low vibrational beings. That's just not me. Then, on my side of things, I had to take my time to heal. And what do I do wrong in this situation? I got into a situation after that situation, which was my long-term relationship situation, which was, involved a marriage, involved commitment. And I did not give myself the time to heal. So a lot of my insecurities, a lot of that PTSD activity, I will say, I'm not diagnosing myself, but a lot of what I done, was, as I said, it put a lot on me, and I added more. And so I had to really you know, after my whole situation, after the, you know, everything was gone and now I'm alone, I have to go into the cycle of healing. And that could take a couple of years. You know, that could take a couple of years for certain people. It's a choice, really. But I choose me right now. Right now, I'm in the phase to choosing me, because the love that I want to have for myself is the love I'm manifesting to come to me as well. You know, I want my love, my life, and my future to be abundant. And in order for me to do that, certain sacrifices are just going to have to be made. You know, so back to the original question, you know, why does women that have their shit together always single or don't or can't keep a man? It's not that I can't keep a man. If I want one, I get one, and I can keep him because I know how to treat my guests, and I know how to treat people, and I know how I would like to be treated. It's just that I refuse to have toxicity in my home, and you know, I want things to go a certain way. I want things to go right. And if it's not right, it's out my life. I don't want it. You know, I don't want it. You know, and I tell you, right now is the best time for me to be alone, because I am still learning a few things about myself. So then when I bring it to the table, it's like, okay, there's nothing, you know, there's absolutely nothing that I've left behind. You know, because when you're with somebody, the person that you're with and you live with is going to bring out a whole different side of you. You know, because when you're with somebody, you're going to want to do more. Sometimes it can be a little competitive, a little bit, if you think about it. However, it's, you know, it's all in good intention, all in good vibration, depending on how you do it. If you do it right, that's what it is. But some people don't do that because they overdo, because that's just who they are. And they don't realize it. I'm trying to get myself to a point to where when I receive information, I accept it and I learn from it without becoming this toxic person. I want to be able to take the debate. I want to be able to take on things independently by myself, because once I have gained all of those things alone, I ain't got no problem with another person, because I'm already fulfilled. I'm already whole. And then hopefully that person's already whole. I'm trying to manifest somebody that's whole. You know, to my liking, to where I have, you know, where my standards are and they have their own standards. You know, I love somebody with, you know, with some standards now. You know. And then on top of that, you know, I'm on this diet journey. You know, diet vlogging is also coming soon as well. You know, can't really record at work, so, you know, which that's the majority of my time right now. But I can talk to y'all about a few things with wisdom. But yeah, most definitely, all this stuff, you know, that's the reason why I choose to be single. That's the reason why I choose not to entertain a man anymore. You know, I was in this situation, you know, just a little bit ago, you know, and I didn't like the person that I was entertaining someone. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to do this little post and let's go from there. I'm not going to entertain anymore. I'm actually following in the line of celibacy purely and completely, meaning celibacy physically, and that's also carrying it in conversations as well. You know, me at work, I clown around with my coworkers, you know, talking about, you know, different things, dirty jokes, stuff like that. You know, I'm still that loose, goofy girl that you see around. However, you know, when it comes to seriousness, when it comes to my relationships, I'm like, you know what? I'm not really ready for that right now. I'm not really ready for a fun thing either. And I realized that just the other night, because I still put my whole self into it. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. You know, just to, at the end, hear these crazy ass words, you know, oh, you knew what this was. Not saying that that's everybody's line. Not saying that that's everybody's doing. However, it still rants in my mind. It still runs. And it's like, I don't want that to continue. So I've got to refocus, regain, and redirect. You know, ooh, that's a word right there. I gotta rewind this so I can write that down. You know, refocus, regain, and redirect. That's what I have to do for me. Because if I don't, I'm going to become toxic even in the fun situations. You know, something without a relationship. And that's not what I want, you know, because, you know, and I know what I want. I know exactly what I want. So it ain't about me not knowing. It's about me knowing what I want, but I'm not ready for it yet. I'm preparing for it, but I'm not ready for it yet. So, you know, that's really what it's about for me. And sometimes it's not about, you know, oh, men are this, men are that. No, it's not always like that. No. There are very high vibrational, high value men out there I can appreciate and I can learn from. However, I'm not at that level just yet. I am leveling myself up, but I'm not where I want to be yet. I have certain levels to me, my logical, my masculine side of me, that I feel like I can be more. And right now, I'm not ready for all that extra stuff because I can't carry it. You know, it's one thing to be able to buy something, but you really can't afford to buy it right now because you got something else lined up that you got to take care of. You got other priorities that's got to be dealt with first. You know, I got this abundance and I got this love, this new being in my hands, which is myself. I can't just give that to somebody yet. I'm not ready. It's not perfected yet. So no, I'm not ready for all that. You know, like I said, not even for the fun things, because honey, I don't want nobody in my womb. I don't know. Like I said, I've said this in several lives on my social media. You know, I don't invite anybody in my home. You ain't gonna throw off the pH in my house. You ain't gonna throw off my pH either. You know, there's a certain criteria, certain levels that I meet in my house, you know, and I'm not about to have it thrown off by somebody random that just wants to come in and do a little throw the hoe around, you know, no ma'am, no ham, not doing that. And then they just leave out their own life and stuff, and then they have to deal with something. You see what I'm saying? You know, when you entertain somebody and then you fall off the grid. Okay, you fell off the grid. You did not communicate with me. Now I'm cautious of you. Now at this point, now I'm distant. I'm not going to be as open as I was with you. Now you have fixed communication until I see change. That, however, I'm still in my feminine. I'm still into me, myself. I still have that open arm policy. However, you're on the restriction. You on the warning list right now. You on probation. You know, you pretty much start back over with me. You know, you put yourself in the friend zone. You know. Speaking of friend zone, I had a very interesting conversation with several people. I would say several because there was several. You know, about me talking about, yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with friendship and stuff like that. You know, just letting them know up front, like, hey, I'm not about the relationship stuff you trying to get on because I don't know you. I'm not about to offer a relationship to somebody I don't know, especially if they don't even live close by. I'm not about to do that no way. But it's like, you know, I hope I don't stay in the friendship zone for long. Like, what is with men in the friendship zone? Are you so tied up in this access, this body thing that you feel entitled to be out of the friend zone? Like, no, friends with benefits don't make sense to me anymore. At one point in my life, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, friends with benefits. But then I also had to realize, me as a woman that I am, I don't like friends with benefits. I don't do the friends with benefits thing because friends with benefits is a toxic idea. For whoever made that shit up, they need to get, they want to catch themselves outside at this point with me. I'm not about that friends with benefits. If it's serious, it's serious. If it's not, it's not. And I'm not about, you know, flashing everything on social media either, you know. But, you know, at the end of the day, It's always somebody out there that is always, you know, got these standards like, oh, I don't do titles, or I don't do, you know, I do friends with benefits, or I do this and that. It's like, all that shit, you know, save your insecurities for somebody else that's willing to entertain that. Don't bring it to my door. I'm about seriousness. You know what I'm saying? If you're not ready for it, get away from me. Don't give me all this energy and activity and I'm not claimed. That comes with my territory. Okay? When you are inside of me in my womb, you come to my house and sit in my living room eating my food, then I'm expecting a claim, honey. I am expecting a claim, especially if I'm doing all this investing. I'm expecting a claim. You know, that's just what I have for me. Now, like I said, I still have this abundant ball that I'm building myself. And I'm not through with it. I'm not giving it to nobody yet. And I don't expect the same thing from you. With that being said, that is why I'm taking the path of celibacy myself. Now, this message is really for both men and women of my age. You know, I'm 27. You know, whoever is on my mentality, that's who I'm talking to. So, you know, all of you other people, you know, y'all just, you know, y'all careless with your womb and everything and your energy. This ain't for you. This is just not for you. So, you know, good luck with what you got going on. It's no judgment. I'm just talking about my preferences. My preferences, my settings, you know, my gains and everything is set the way I like them, and I'm keeping them like that. I'm not lowering and I'm not increasing not a damn thing for nobody else but me. You know, I was having a conversation with someone about standards and about expectations, and he asked me, so what is my expectations of a man? And I told him, you know, my expectations currently. And he says, what do you mean by currently? And I said, well, my expectation changes along with me. And he was like, well, elaborate a bit. And I told him, I said, look, I'm not where I want to be in my life right now. Physically, I want to be healthier. You know, financially, I want to be wealthier. Emotionally, I want to be stable. Spiritually, I want to be aligned. There is a lot of things about me that I have expectations that I have not met yet. I will be damned if I put all those expectations on somebody else. That's the type of person I used to be. And it was unfair. It was unaligned. And the type of person I used to be, it was hypocritical. Because I had believed that feminine and masculine role, those stereotypes, and now that I am the person I am, they don't make no damn sense. The person I am as an independent woman, they don't make sense. They don't. All the things that I've done for myself, I didn't have to ask nobody to do. Currently, I'm in a situation where I have to, you know, like I said in the previous video, you know, I had to find myself into an abundant situation by being in a humble position. You know, being dependent a bit. Now, I am appreciative of that experience, but that's not where I want to be. That's not where I think I should be. And since this is the time where I am observing my investors, if you will, now it's time for me to put the work in. And it's a long road ahead. I've given myself a time frame for each setting that I have set for myself. I don't expect that from anybody else yet, because I haven't met my expectations yet. So who am I going to draw in? I'm going to draw in people that are on my level, not the people that I want. So with that being said, no, you know, I'm not entertaining a man no further from this day forward. From further on, I'm not doing that. I have gotten something on me. Oh, it's that daggum. I thought I was sweating or something. That was that daggum oil I put on. And it's just cluttered up in one place. You ever put oil on and it just clump up like in your hot spots. Dadgummit. Gotta rub it in. Rub it in. Anyway, but yeah, you know, I'm not ready for that right now because, you know, the person I'm trying to, you know, the person I'm trying to incubate and trying to turn into, you know, that's just what it is. You know, have you ever seen a butterfly breed with a caterpillar? I haven't. I have not. And that's what a lot of y'all are doing out here. Some of y'all are butterflies or moths breeding with a little caterpillar. Don't know what they are yet. And then when you finally see what they turn into, it's like, oh, that. Either they turn into something the same as you, or they turn into something else from you. That's different. So y'all are doing that. But anyway, yeah. That was a long answer to that simple question. And I'm gonna be honest, you know, I could have took the low vibrational route and I could have just up and said, well, what do they bring to the table? I could have said that, but I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be a lady, and I'm going to be more educated with my answer to that question. You know, why can't I keep a man? It's not that I can't keep one, honey. It's that I'm not ready for a man. Some of the people that are asking this question are not men anyway. And I'm not saying by the male genitalia. I'm just talking about you have not reached the peak of your feminine or masculine. You are not whole yet, but you're asking this question. I'm telling you. But yeah, that's what that is. That's what that is. And I hope whoever receives this message can really just enlighten themselves and understand what it really is, especially you women. If you didn't know how to answer that question, I hope that I, you know, pointed out a few little golden eggs for you. You know, maybe you can think about it for yourself and then you can give the enlightenment answer. But if you want to keep it simple, I'd be like, you know, under the comments, I'd be like, what do they bring to the table? Because at this point, balls don't help nothing at this point. They don't help nothing. Just in my own life experiences, I have gotten to a point where it's like, you know, most of the time I had me. When I was sick in the hospital, I mean, I would tell the person I was with, but I was mostly there alone. Honestly, I was. And I had to sit there by myself and think about what's going on with me. I had to sit there and think about what's happening, which is why I'm on the path that I'm at now. When it comes to this health and this diet and everything. So I was like, you know, if I'm going to stand alone, I'm going to stand alone. 10 toes down by myself. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not going to bash nobody. I'm not going to, you know, be all up in somebody else's business. I'm just going off of my own experiences. And some of my experiences come with a little bit of pain. But growing, I can appreciate those times because I learned during those times. I've learned, and you know, it is what it is. But anyway, I am almost to my destination. I'm almost there. So I'm gonna get off here, and when I get to where I need to get, I'm just gonna post this video. Like I said, I hope that this finds the right person, and if you know it finds you and you feel like you're not in that phase just yet, share it to somebody who you feel is. You know, come on, spread the love. You know, like, share, subscribe, because I am going to be posting this to YouTube. And honestly, you know, I feel like I need to build this platform, and I feel like, you know, whomever is going to be watching this, I feel like you can help me. So, you know, just support a black woman's business. You know, if you're going to be in somebody's business, you might as well support it. But I hope everybody has a blessed and wonderful day. And be safe out there. Yesterday was kind of crazy. You know, there was a shooting in Chicago. Was it Chicago? No. I mean, I'm pretty sure there probably was. But there was a place in Illinois, I want to say it probably was Chicago, but where it killed 6 people. And I, just hearing that on a holiday, I don't celebrate the 4th of July for different reasons. However, when people are out there celebrating, you're like, what's the purpose in doing all that? Come on now. Like, it's sad. We've been through a lot this year already. But yeah, y'all just be safe and keep those family in your hearts and just uplift them, in spirit. And I hope everybody is just, today, I hope everybody finds a way to get themselves in a higher positive vibration, especially for our children, especially people who are younger. It seems like we are going into this term where a lot of younger people are doing a lot of this problem. A lot of these people are younger than me. These, late 90s, early 2000s. There's a lot of problems that we're not understanding. I know I'm on this rabbit hole, but I feel like it just needs to be said. Please acknowledge your children. Please acknowledge their issues and address it. Stop being uncomfortable, because at the end of the day, yes, they're our future, but you are the hand pushing them to the future. You brought them into this world. And once you push them to the future and you're gone, that's it. The legacy that you're pushing forth is your legacy. Now that boy's parents, that's their legacy now. So I'm not shaming anybody. I'm not coming at anybody in a bad way. I'm just saying, look, this is coming from love, okay? Now I'm speaking as a Bam Bam. That's an auntie. I'm a Bam Bam of all kinds of children. Some of them are not even my own blood, So with all of that being said, please, please, please acknowledge your children. Have the conversations you need to have with them. Be proactive, with them. If they're in public schools, get involved as much as you can. I'm on this phase in my own life. I don't have children. However, I'm on a phase in my life where it's like, okay, I got this job to help me live my life, not the other way around. So I understand some of you are hardworking people. It's easier said than done. And it takes a community, it takes a village. So what I will say at the end, closing this all out, all I got to say is this. Hey, make time for what's really important. And do the work, do the understanding, do the research you have to do to make it work. Especially, shout out to single parents out there. Like I said, it takes a village. And I understand there's so much shit going around. You don't know who to trust. That's why I said just try to do your research. Try to do what you gotta do. But something's gotta give this generation. Something's gotta give. Because this is getting out. This already had a hand. But this is becoming too much to see every day there's something new. Just acknowledge them. Anyway, bless you. I hope everybody has a good day. Like I said, uplift each other and just, life's too short to be closed off. Talk to somebody if you need to. But it's all love. Have a good one.